So greetings to you all this April. I'm speaking from, I believe it's March 26th, just after the full moon eclipse of March. And this recent eclipse was in Libra 5 degrees. So just as I will talk about the April 8th eclipse, I will perhaps note now and remind later that the significance of eclipses is the trigger dates that occur afterwards. Those are going to be in the same degrees, opposing, conjuncting, and squaring, which will be two different signs squaring. And with this eclipse, since it was 5 degrees Libra, we will look for planets in 5 degrees Aries, 5 degrees Libra, 5 degrees Capricorn, and 5 degrees Cancer, which means that trigger dates will be in June, October, December, and next March, April. And for the April 8th eclipse, the sun and moon, along with Chiron and the dwarf planet Eris, will be in gate 51 in the human design graph, and it'll be 19 degrees, as I point out here. I just thought I'd point that out early. Now, this eclipse, I've named it Fires in the Mind because it's a North Node eclipse. The energy is coming into us. So something new is coming in and burning out what is old. So it is a time of renewal. But as everyone who is plugged in knows, there is so much energy on this eclipse. It's as if the eclipse is being used as a pretext or as an excuse for disaster itself or multiple disasters. And they're already occurring. Um, and we'll go over that a little. For now, I'll start with the beginning of the cleanup of this huge mess, which is that the Mercury retrograde shadow already started about the 18th of March, and it'll carry through this dream wave in April. And it's a time to avoid any big, important discussions, big expenditures, surgeries. If you do such things, they will be complicated and nuanced with errors and do-overs and mistakes. Expect delays. Don't expect that things will go smoothly the first time. Be patient and you should be fine this month. Create lots of downtime so you can be fine in terms of healing from the energy. This energy of this month being especially that this eclipse is conjunct Chiron as well. There is a possibility of healing if one can spend time with oneself, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. Also making sure that you're properly um, um, resourced, and that you increase your fluid uptake as this Aries month, it's a lot of fire, so there'll be a lot of drying out. It'll be important to really make sure that you're getting um, the nutrients and the water you need in order to stay calm and stay in your body. Reflect, reconsider, reset. These are the mantras of Mercury retrograde. It is a time of the RE prefix. The impact days, or days of April, as I call it. Forget and remember back into your body. There's going to be so much energy and so much information coming in that my suggestion this month to myself as well is to just buy a whole new journal for the month and write whenever you can, just to get out, because the mind is going to become so full of flames And it's going to be important to dump and clean up the mind so your mind can be open to your own creative sparks of ideas. Keep in mind, this is a time to really put down your creative ideas on what it is in your life you want to begin anew. And that will be also whatever house you have Aries in, Aries 19 degrees, or in your human design, whatever's going on in gate 51, the gate of initiation, the gate of shock. Now, there will be many different days where the match can be thrown on the gasoline. But the significant date, as everyone knows, or now knows, is April 8th. Navigate shock of crisis, move forth your will, breathe and think fire, drink water and rest, clean up what is finished and begin anew. Full moon, Scorpio 4 degrees on April 23rd. This will be in gate 28. Gate 28 in human design is the gate of testing reality. What is worth? Why is life worth living? What is it about life what makes life worth living? How can I test whether life is worth it? Face darkness with courage. Gate 28 tends to be part of the channel of struggle. Could be resistance that comes up in the body this month against all the energy coming in. Some other watch within days. April 13th, the comet Apophis. They're talking about the comet Apophis is going to hit. Apophis is very interesting. It's mythology. It's definitely explosion type energy. April 22nd is another date. That's right before the full moon. As I usually express, the planets are the dream, symbols of the dream, the language we are born into so as to play with what we do not yet understand. The stars are the dust that we truly are. Chart, graphs, is the area wherein we project out and play our stories out in this creatrix. Purpose of life is to play out what we do not yet understand or know. Life is a play and exercise of free fate. Life here seems a holographic projection, astrology and human design. Some of the interfaces, the code we use to describe, play it, replay it, and direct it back at ourselves. Now, the sun this month is going to move through the gates of Aries, and then near the end of the month, it'll go into the gates of Taurus. The chaotic smoke screens abound, for such dark deeds are being sown. Be still in the vortex of the heart, as all moves around and through you. We may see fires within or without in the world, as Aries months usually heat up. Explosions of all kinds, all range of theatrics, for this world is a stage. It's already started. We've already seen this in recent incidents in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. There will be gates torn asunder in the United States as well. We've definitely had incidents in the last couple of months and years. There may be another kind of big incident, one where where we're going to attempt to throw gasoline on our own in our fires. But hopefully we can keep our cool and not fall into the control of emotionality and lose our authenticity. Now the sun will travel through these gates. Gate 21, 51, 42, 3, 27, and 24. It'll begin in the gate of management, gate 21, which is part of an ego channel. This is about needing to control every single person or every single thing in your organization or in what you manage, or allowing everyone to fit where they need to fit. And allowance is the key word here. It's important to give up control of things that we know we cannot control. Then the sun will go into gate 42 on April 10th. Oh, I hope I have that right. I may have skipped the gate. Gate 42 is the gate of completion, finishing things and cleaning up the messes, seeing things to their conclusions. So this is right after the eclipse. We'll probably see the intense aspects of the, oh, I know what gate I missed. It was gate 51, because that's where all the planets will be. Now, gate 51 will then be April 5th to the 10th. Now, April 5th, as I pretty much went over already, is the gate of shock and initiation. This will be the fires in the mind I'm talking about, with all the planets lining up for that new moon solar eclipse. We have sun, moon, and then Chiron, and then the dwarf planet Eris. Now, what's interesting to me is Eris, because, and I'll go over this more in my eclipse video, but Eris is in 19 degrees Aries, and it's a dwarf planet not too far from Pluto. And Eris is the sister of Mars, the goddess of discord. In the Greek, in the mythologies, she wasn't invited to a particular party or a big party where all the god and goddesses were. And so she threw in a golden apple that was pinned to a question that said, "Who is the fairest?" So she appealed to the vanity of the party. And this incident, where many vain goddesses attempted to ask Paris who was the fairest, this is evidently what started the Trojan War. And I'll go over this more again in my eclipse gate. But this is something that's, again, that the eclipse is something that it's a north node eclipse, so it's like a power surge or a power outage. It's energy coming in to the body and into the brain, to the mind, because that's where Aries rules. Aries rules the head. And so it's like a fire in the mind. We're going to be shocked or initiated with some revelation of some kind, or just something occurring, and we will all have to settle into that. It'll trigger a deep wound inside of us that's not healed. And it's the Chiron wound is something that doesn't go away. And so we'll need to settle our minds, to calm our minds after this shock. And this is what will lead us to gate 42. And gate 42 will be a gate of completion, finishing things up, cleaning up the messes, seeing things through to their conclusions. You can't really begin things anew until you've cleared the way for them. So endings, completion, conclusions are really important. And so it's important to clean up what's done, what's over with, so you can begin something new. This will be April 10th to the 15th. April 16th to the 21st, the sun will go into gate 3. Now, gate 3 is really, really, it's almost like a lightning gate. It's uncontrollable energy. We can't even attempt to control this energy. This is where the verse moves when it does. And you just have to be ready and present, not ahead or behind yourself, but in your body, present in response. That's your particular authority, or ready to act if that's your authority. This is the gate of creativity, allowance for chaos, chaotic timing. Resolve will happen as nature decides. Embrace the adventure. And this will be April 16th to the 21st, which will be another build up as it builds up towards the full moon. And gate 28 on April 22nd. Now, around this time of the full moon, the sun will go through gate 27. Gate 27 is a gate of caring for others. It's a tribal gate of responsibility, care and balance for the self and others. This is also a potentially intense time from April 22nd to 26th. I think on the 24th, Pluto will be squaring the sun, or the moon rather. And so for this particular full moon, I note, do not avoid the stillness and silence that calls you. Test yourself. Don't give in to the instability of a dysregulated body or nervous system. Expend enough energy so you can be calm in a healthy way, of course. Then at the end of the month, April 27th, the sun will go into Taurus gate 24. This is a mental channel, a mental gate, thinking through silence, create new patterns so new goals may move forth. Here's a summary of what signs the planets are in. Sun will enter Taurus, not April 19th, but somewhere around the 21st or 22nd. I'm not exact on that. I forgot to check it. Mars continues in Pisces, Venus continues in Pisces. Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct this month. And that'll be very powerful. That'll be very amazing, actually, as Uranus symbolizes our human rebellion. It's what I like to call Prometheus, as I think it was the astrologer Tarnus said this. He renamed Uranus Prometheus. So the expansion of our rebellion. Saturn will continue in Pisces with Neptune, attempting to turn our visions into reality. And Pluto will continue in gate 60, which is part of that channel of allowance of not being able to control when things happen. Pluto moon days tend to be heavy emotionally in the need of gentle expression and release. And even if they are intense, they're intense. That's it. That's how it has to be. These are the dates for the Pluto moon. April 3rd, April 9th, April 16th, and April 24th. So there it is. April will be a very transformative month. We may not recognize ourselves after this month. It is really important to put priorities forward. I would advise to write a journal this month so you can reflect on your thoughts and feelings, as life will change on many levels after this month. This is the important month of this year. September will also be very intense and powerful, as the eclipse cycle will return. And there will be a Pisces eclipse in late September, and then another eclipse in October, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more. I wish you all the best this month. Stay in your power, stay grounded, and be well.